Hello, everyone, and welcome to this amazing episode of Open Book Entrepreneur podcast. Today, we have a super interesting guest, Travis Holzem. He's into sustainable food production and also gym enthusiast. Really interesting guy, as I mentioned. And yeah, please introduce yourself to the audience.
Hey everybody, like you said, I'm Travis Holzem, and I live here in Apple Valley, Minnesota, in the U.S. And basically, I'm dedicated to transforming unused land and unused spaces into regenerative, self-sufficient, food-producing spaces. So, growing food, not lawns.
Wonderful, wonderful. So what got you into this business?
I've always been interested in how things grow, and I used to plant a seed and grow herbs in my window, in the windowsill, and watch that grow. Like plant a seed and watch it start to grow, and then you get whatever you're growing. You might get tomatoes, you might get peppers, or whatever herbs, rosemary and basil and stuff like that, and it always interested me. And then as you start, I start looking at a larger picture of food and how food is today in the US. The food isn't very good that you're getting in your grocery stores. So there had to be a way to grow better food and grow it locally. So that's pretty much, I wanted to grow food, not lawns. And it's, I just think it's the way forward for everybody, for health and nutrient dense food instead of the stuff that's grown with pesticides and poisons and stuff in our stores. So
Definitely. And you also mentioned something that sounded really interesting, like in terms of this food production, you're more focused on sustainability. Yeah, can you just tell us a little bit more about that?
yeah. And it's just, these are regenerative, self-sustaining food forests, okay? And it's less maintenance than a lawn, and I don't grow with poisons or chemicals or anything like that. We use a design science called permaculture, and we're designing with nature. And so using what nature gives us, and once you plant out a system, it's intelligently designed, so we're finding what grows where you live. Everybody lives in different climates. So certain things grow in your climate that don't grow where I'm at, depending on what the temperature is like. So we take all these factors into consideration, and then we team up or plant communities of trees and plants together that help each other grow. And just like nature does, it's hands off. And year after year, your trees go through their normal cycle of nature. Like here in Minnesota, it's cold now, so nothing grows in the winter. All the leaves fall off the trees and the trees go to sleep. Well, in springtime, they'll wake back up and start growing again. Well, that's how we design these systems. So they're regenerative, self-sustaining, and low maintenance. And year after year, you get more and more food from your system.
Wonderful. And you basically focus on like finding the neighborhoods where they have sort of like grass just laying down, and then you grow them. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, well, everything, you could have homes, schools, churches, businesses. It doesn't really matter, or we all have city parks, where you have your swings and stuff for the kids to play on. All of these places are just green grass. And our tax dollars are paying to maintain that space. And I believe the way forward is to have food growing on all of these spaces. Okay, you're solving a lot of problems, and you solve food security for everybody. So there's food growing everywhere. Nobody goes hungry because you can walk down the street or go to your park and bring a basket, and you can have all your herbs, your vegetables, your fruits, and it's just, yeah, any space, and we design it. You're stacking functions so you can grow a lot of food in a small space. It doesn't matter if you have a very small backyard or 100 acres. We design it for your space.
Wow.
And yeah, you could have a patio on, you might not have any grass. You might only have a little concrete patio. Well, you can still grow food in pots and garden beds and stuff like that. So it's doesn't matter how big your space is. We can grow food anywhere.
You grow food and like good amount of food, yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah. You can grow a lot of food, and you could probably for a family of 3 or 4 on a quarter acre, you could grow enough food for a year,
Huh.
for the entire year,
Wow, that's what
and have food left over. So
yeah.
you're probably gonna have so much food you can give it away to your family and friends, or you can sell it.
So
So you can use it as an income generator also.
nice, nice. I like this idea. And this is only available in US or international?
Everywhere, anywhere. We actually, when we launched this company back in 2021, we actually have some over in Germany. There's some designers there. One of our first investors from Germany, and we have a resort in Thailand, but we have designers from all over the world that can design anywhere. So someone comes to me from or Canada, someone from Canada wants me to design their property. Well, I have a network of designers all over now, so I can get someone in Canada to design their property, and so anywhere.
We're talking about the design of the garden, yeah, and food production art.
Yes, yeah. So we can design any property anywhere,
Wonderful.
and
Okay, and I mean, thank you very much for sharing this. It's a wonderful idea. I really believe that there is so much potential there, and I really want to sort of like expand on that. On top of that, this is really like open book entrepreneur podcast. So we want to also touch a little bit because you're a business owner, and we want to touch a little bit on the side of how you deal with things when they get tough, and as we all know in business, this can happen a lot. So how do you motivate yourself?
every day I get up and like today's the day. If if sales are low and I'm not getting much and many leads coming in, today's the day that I'm going to get that big property, uh, or the client's going to call me back that might have said, I have to wait a little bit. I can't afford it right now, right? Because everybody has excuses for buying. Some people aren't ready, and it's every day is a new day, and this could be the day that you never have to worry about sales again. You might, and it's some days are harder than others, I guess you could say, but every day I go to the gym every day and work out, right? So I kind of look at things like that. Um, you you got to keep working out, stay in shape. So even with business, you got to keep doing the same. You got to do it over and over again. You can't give up. Otherwise, you gain weight, right?
Yeah. So what's been one of the biggest successes in your business journey so far?
Um, Designing a property at a movie star, a Hollywood actor's um, ranch down in Texas. There's I don't know if you've ever seen the show on HBO called Entourage.
I haven't,
Um,
haven't seen it yet. Yeah.
yeah, the lead character was Vinny Chase. Well, his name's Adrian Grenier. He's an actor. We designed it's actually on my website, but we took his backyard. He's got a beautiful 22-acre ranch down in Austin, Texas, or Bastrop, Texas. And we actually filmed a TV pilot as we installed. We had 30 different people come and help us from all around the country install this design on this property. And so it was a big collaboration. And we turned in 4 days, we turned his entire backyard into, we planted out a vineyard. So I think 40 grapevines. So we built grape trellises and a medicine wheel, which his fiance at the time was into studying Chinese herbal medicine. So we designed an herb garden for all her herbs so she could grow them all. And then we put a food forest in. And then there was a part of the property that was an old horse stable. We turned it into a cantina so we planted a bunch of cactuses and all the stuff that grows in your desert soil. So we had 4 different spaces in this backyard, and we did this in 4 days.
4 days, unbelievable.
It's amazing. And it was probably the funnest ever, because everybody had never done an installation like this before, because they came to learn as we did this. And it was the most amazing thing that ever happened, because you got 30 people from all different walks of life, and they all showed up and helped with this design, and it went smooth. Not one hiccup, nothing went wrong. There's no fighting, I mean, because you have 30 different people who have never met before. You just never know how they're going to get along, right? It was the most amazing thing I think I've ever been part of.
Wonderful. I mean, it's amazing what you can do in 4 days. So my next question is basically like, for a long-term vision for your business, like medium-term vision, what's your vision for your business for the next 3 to 5 years?
To transform as many lawns into food producing spaces as possible, and even these underserved communities, the poor communities where they don't have access to nutrient, freshly, locally produced food, grown food. So I'm trying to get into some of these cities where there's a lot of poor communities, and start turning those places into food producing spaces instead of food deserts. So they have access to food everywhere.
Yeah, wonderful. Okay, excellent. So thank you so much for sharing this and for being a guest today. So if anyone from our audience wants to either get in touch with you or learn more about yourself, or maybe even get help with designing their food production loans, how they can do that, where they can get in touch with you?
You can Food Forest Design Minnesota. So you can go foodforestdesignminnesota.com, or just go Food Forest Design Minnesota on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and I'll pop up. And you can't miss me because I have the bald head.
Okay, that's great. I will also this is going to be actually published, and I am going to leave the links below in the description, so that you can actually get in touch with Travis. Thank you so much for being a guest today. It was really a wonderful experience to have you on, and thank you all for watching and listening. All the best, have fun, and see you in the next episode.
Thank you, everybody. Grow food, not lawns. See you.